What's up, you guys? Welcome back. Today we are doing another Shop My Stash. It is that time again. I've been using this stuff for about 2 weeks. It has not felt like that. I did my makeup less this time because I've been sick, obviously. Hello, my voice. But I actually made really good progress. I hit pan in like several of these products. I need to add that to my like hit pan list so I can do an updated video on things I've hit pan in. But so far, so good. Getting way ahead of myself. I liked I like this round. I like this one. So I'm going to go through the stuff from my everyday makeup drawer this last round. This was the one that Britt had helped me pick out, and then I'm going to pick out some new stuff for this upcoming round for the end of May. Normally I have the whole drawer organizer, but because I am still currently trying to work my way through a ton of primers and foundations from the shit that don't fit bin, I don't have that right now. And I'm just kind of, I've put everything in this cute little basket, and this is just the everyday makeup basket drawer thing for now. So let's talk about some stuff. First of all, starting in order, of course, the primer and foundation is just kind of set to the wayside because I'm using whatever happens to be in the drawer from the shit that don't fit. I do have my concealer and my color corrector though. I was using the Urban Decay Naked Skin in Yellow, the Tarte Creaseless Concealer. Honestly, I love these so much. This one is really like, I'm really starting to have to scrape the sides on. But it's such a good color corrector if you need like a yellow. This one is a little bit thick for my liking, and I remember feeling that way like when I first used it, but for the type of concealing that I like to use like this type of concealer for, it's just not my absolute favorite. I like to use it as kind of like a brightening, like invigorating concealer. This one is just a little too on the dry side. It doesn't blend out as easily. It's just a little dry, and it isn't like brightening or anything like that. Like, it's specifically meant for like under your eyes, which is cool. It's just not exactly what I'm into, so I like this. But for my own personal preference, there are other ones that I would definitely find myself reaching for more so. I ended up using the Kinea Antiveros Beauty Set and Define Kit. This was the face palette. So this had literally like everything but a blush in it, I think. I used this obviously throughout the week. I did end up hitting pan in the Set shade. I used all but I think the dark contour shade this round, and I really liked it. The bronzer and the contour shades are amazing. This highlight shade is so pretty. I actually have a pretty decent dip in there. And then I also used the mattify shade. I just did not happen to hit pan in that, and like the pan in the set is such a tiny, we're going to talk about it later. I like this palette though, actually. It was a really good palette. I really found myself enjoying it, but once I hit pan in it, I decided to kind of set that to the side and pull in some other products. So the other product that I had like pre-picked out, that Britt helped me pick out, was the oversized, from the oversized drawer. And it was the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer. This, on my skin tone, it looks really dark right now, but like it is so pale, and there's so much hard pan on it now. But the actual product itself is super duper pale. So I used this as a pressed powder because for my shade, I know it looks dark, but I promise you in person it is so light. So I was using this just as a pressed powder, and that's what I used for the rest of the round. For bronzer, once I hit pan in that palette, I pulled in the Item Beauty Cheek Money Mood Vibes, the one that I have been raving about, and I ended up hitting pan in this one as well. For blush, that was the one thing that wasn't in the palette, so Britt had picked out this, the ColourPop Drop of a Hat Super Shock Chic from the 2020 Year of the Mouse collection, I think, Year of the Rat. I ended up hitting pan in this, which I've used this blush so often, so that wasn't a really big shock to me. Once I hit pan in that, I pulled in the Natasha Denona Duo Glow in Rayo. This is so pretty. I actually got some pretty good use out of this as well, and it's such a beautiful shade of blush. Obviously, like always, I'm wearing all of the like current updated products today. So I am wearing this blush today, and I freaking love it. It's so pretty. I cannot believe that I have not paid more attention to this like before. It's a huge pan, but I definitely think that you guys are going to start seeing this a lot more in the future because this is so pretty. Okay, and last but not least, I hit pan in the stinking palette, so I pulled in just a regular highlight. I pulled in the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude Glow. I did not hit pan in it, obviously, because it's freaking massive, but I love this highlight so much. I do have this really huge dip in the middle here, obviously. This is from that like limited edition holiday collection. I did a whole video on this line, and this highlight is so good, one of my favorites. So I just went ahead and pulled this in because I obviously want to make sure if I'm hitting pans, I'm also cycling through products, and I don't want to stick with one product for too long if I've hit pan in it, because right now the goal is to just try to get some pans and get some usage and make sure that none of the products are being left behind, if that makes sense. So we're working through them, but I really liked it. Honestly, all of the face products, no matter how I was like mixing and matching depending on what had pan and what didn't, they all worked out really well for me. So good. It was a good call. Okay, so for random like eye products, I had my eyeliners. I don't know where my pencil sharpener is. This is the Pixie Endless Silky Eye Pen, and this has to be sharpened, and I don't know where my eyeliner pencil sharpener went, so I pretty much only used the Dose of Colors one, the Caviar one. I did use this one a couple of times, but now it needs to be sharpened. The Dose of Colors one is so good. One of my favorite eyeliners. It's such a good, like, just opaque black liner, smudges easily. I love it. I use the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Amplifying Eye Primer. This is a good eye primer, no complaints there. I actually did get quite a bit of use out of the Tarte The Big Ego Brow Pomade. I had a lot of usage in it, like when it got pulled into this round, but I got more usage in it, which I'm excited about. And this is a good pomade. Like, it's a bit dark. This shade is a black brown. It's a teensy bit dark for me, but I feel like I can kind of make it work to get the brows that I want, so I'm okay with that. And then this is the interesting one. Once again, I've lost my eyeliner as well, my liquid liner. But the one that Britt had picked out for this round was this one, the Lime Crime Venus Liner in Dahlia, which I had only used once prior to this round. In this round, I also had a liner, the KVD Vegan Beauty one from my Shop My Samples, and that is the one that I've been primarily focusing on. Well, today, ironically, I couldn't find it, and I was going to use this one anyways. I will admit I have not used this one during the round because I was so focused on the KVD Vegan Beauty one. I am not used to using these like wand type applicators. Oh, it's not a good look right here. Okay, it's not a good look. I much prefer the pencils, which is good to know because I don't have very many like this. Most of the ones that I have are either pencils or like potted, and that's good to know. Or like pens, markers, things like that. It's the brush tip. I don't know why. I think it's because it's shorter and it's fatter and it's weirder to hold, and this is just a little bit more chaotic. I don't know. I don't love this as much as I like the marker or like the pen type liquid liners. This was just a little bit more difficult to work with, so that kind of freaks me out. It'll be interesting to see, you know, in the next few rounds when it comes back up again. It'll be interesting to see if I can make it work then. We'll have to see. Two eyeshadow palettes, of course, as per usual. Britt picked out both of these, the ColourPop Stone Cold Fox. This is the one that I primarily used, honestly, which was also surprising to me because I thought it was going to be the next one. Britt has been using this as well, and she's really been enjoying it. It's such a good palette. It's so beautiful. Cool tone neutrals. There's so many different things you can do with this, and I've posted a couple of looks from this palette on Instagram this past week, and it's just, I love this so much. No pans yet, but we're getting close in some shades. And the whole thing is just so beautiful. It's beat to shit, but it's so beautiful. And then the other palette that she had picked out was the Lime Crime Greatest Hits Bangers. Honestly, I really do like this palette. I used this several times. I have some dips in like Heavenly, Hail, Beam has a really big dip in it. Muse has some good usage. Divine has some good usage. Aura. I cannot believe this entire time, and I did not use this Pigeon shade. Can we just, did I just put myself on like a timeout now? Because I'm just now even realizing that. That's so sad. That would have been such a pretty look. Oh my god, okay. I used this one today, actually, and what's really interesting to me is I wanted to do like a hot pink shimmer shade, and obviously there's not really one in here, but I combined Beam with the Flora shade, and it gave me the prettiest. I love that so much. So that was actually a big component to the look today. I like this palette. It's so good. I didn't hit pan in any of the shades, but I did make some good progress. This was my first like really deep dive in with this palette. And this is one of those palettes. It was an impulse purchase for me. I spent far too much money on it, but I'm actually really happy with it because it's so versatile. I can do so many looks with it, and I'm really enjoying this one. So both of these palettes this week, win-wins, loved it. And then for lippies, obviously the Bite Beauty Line and Define Lip Primer. I've used this several times. I love it. My lip products, I did use everything at least once. This I actually really liked, the KVD Vegan Beauty in Latex, the Everlasting Liquid Lipstick. These three, I liked all three of them. I wish that the Kaja Earhart in Boo was a little bit longer lasting, but it is very moisturizing, so I get why it's not. And then these two I think had the running for my favorites. I love the Lime Crime Lip Blaze formula. This is the shade Clover, and I feel like this is almost just a little too nude for me. There's other shades that I have of this that I feel like I can wear with more looks than this particular shade. And then this is the NYX, this is Milky Gloss in Cherry Skimmed. This one, you guys, I don't like glosses, and I feel like every week my favorite, it ends up being whatever it is from the gloss category, and I don't know why. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I do like glosses, but there's just something about this one I really like, and I've been wearing this a lot. I've been wearing this a lot, and then the Lip Blaze primarily. I've worn the Kaja one a few times, and I've worn this like once or twice, but these two are the standouts. And if I had to pick one, I love this formula, but this shade is not my favorite. I think if I had to pick one out of these four, this would be my favorite. Insane. Crazy. And then obviously the Urban Decay All Nighter Summer Solstice for the setting spray doohickey. This is such a good setting spray. One of my favorites. The Summer Solstice, I can take or leave, but this All Nighter, so good. So all in all, fabulous round for makeup. It's like a week and a half, 2 weeks, because I do this twice a month. So 2 weeks worth of makeup. It was a really good round. I really enjoyed all of it, and I'm really excited to pick out some new makeup today to focus on for the rest of May. So let's ignore my mess, please, obviously, with my regular mess. And then in addition to me being sick, I have not had a good chance to do a lot of cleaning to this room. So whatever. Primers, foundations, the everyday makeup drawer still has a bunch from the Shit That Don't Fit bag. That's what I will be focusing on. But I am going to pick out a color corrector and a concealer. Since I cannot see them, we're reaching in. So we have the Urban Decay Naked Skin Color Correcting Fluid in Peach, and then the Kylie Jenner Skin Concealer in Shell. Obviously, these color correcting liquids I am a huge, huge fan of. And this concealer, I feel like, I know it's a newer concealer, I feel like I've tried it though. I honestly cannot remember my entire, everything's jumbled in my head, but I'm pretty excited to try both of these out. I think part of the fun for these drawers is the fact like that they're so random, but last time we pulled the eye primer from here, so this time I think I'm going to pull it from here, and I think I'm going to pull out the Tarte Lid Lock Eye Base in Buff, which is this little guy right here. Obviously, I would like to get some more use into him, so we'll go ahead and focus on him for the next couple of weeks. For brows, last round I did a pomade, so this time I'm going to reach into here and do a brow pencil, and I'm kind of trying to reach towards the bottom, trying to get one that I haven't used in a while. This is the Hourglass Arch Brow Sculpting Pencil in Ash. It won't focus on it, but this is what I've used a lot. It's one of my absolute favorites, so that'll be fun to do for the rest of May. And then for liners, we're gonna go in and pull out 3 at random. Woo, okay. So I have the Laura Geller Inkcredible Waterproof Gel Eyeliner Pencil in Teal Waters, the Milk Makeup Longwear Gel Eyeliner in Boss, and then the Balm Schwing Liner. The Laura Geller one, I have not used this one in forever, so that'll be really fun to use. The Milk Makeup I absolutely love. And then this one I also love, and it's so funny because I just realized that the applicator for this, I can't open it right now, but the applicator for this is literally the exact same thing as the Lime Crime one, but this has more of like a pencil type feel to it. It's less, it's skinnier, it's thinner, right? And this one just is much easier for me to hold. So that's interesting. I'm definitely gonna have to play around with the type of just packaging that I like for liners like this, but it's definitely something to think about. So last week we picked out palettes from the shelves. This week we're going to do it from the drawers. So this is one of my face palette drawers. And honestly, I think I want, what do I want? I thought I had an idea and now I'm changing my mind. I think I'm going to go with this one. This is such an old palette. This is like a limited edition Smashbox release from forever ago. It's the Holidaze Contour and Spotlight palette, but it's so beautiful and I have hardly ever touched it. Did you guys see how crazy that is? But look at how so pretty it is. And I need to get some good usage out of this. So I think we're going to go ahead and pull this out as our face palette this time. And then for palettes, for eyeshadow palettes, I'm going to do one from the shelves, one from the drawers. This is the second drawer. I'm actually doing something with these palettes right here. I'm going to do kind of a depotting thing that I'm working on. I will be doing a video on it, but I've given some more thought to depotting. Someone had suggested something to me that actually makes a lot of sense that I want to try. So we're going to talk about that later. But for right now, I think actually I want to use this. This is the Too Faced Natural Matte. And I feel like I don't play around with matte eyeshadows a whole lot, especially like all mattes like this, because I personally do find them kind of boring. They're just neutral mattes, but this would give me a really good time to use some of the products in my like fun makeup drawer, you know, some glitters and things like that. So I think I'm gonna pull this out. Ooh, or like some of my singles and like loose shadows and things like that. Some of my pigments maybe would be nice. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out of the drawers this time. And then from these shelves over here, I think I'm gonna go with one of the Urban Decay Naked ones. This is the Urban Decay Naked Ultraviolet. I have not gotten to play around with this nearly as much as I would like to. And I feel like this also is one, this is kind of a newer one, whereas the Natural Matte, well, that one might be kind of new, but I feel like these would be fun to play around with. They don't get reached for a whole lot. They've barely been touched, so let's show them some love this time. Now moving on to the other face products and drawers and things like that. This is the oversized drawer. I always like to pick out one thing from this drawer every time we go around, and I think this time I'm going to do I think this time I'm going to do the Anastasia Beverly Hills Loose Setting Powder in Vanilla. This I have used several times, but it's such a big jar that it takes forever. So let's go ahead and give this some love as well. So the face palette that I have picked out has bronzers and highlights in it. So I'm going to pick out a regular setting powder right now that's not loose, like a pressed powder, and I think I'm gonna go for more of like a mattifying one. Since the Anastasia Beverly Hills powder has some shade to it and some depth to it, I think I'm gonna go with something that is a bit more mattifying. This is the Flower Beauty Miracle Matte Universal Finishing Powder. Again, something that has never been touched, so let's go ahead and play around with this. I'm really interested in trying this actually because I do like mattifying powders. I don't know why I haven't used this one yet. Now obviously for right now I'm going to skip bronzers unless I manage to hit pan in a product in that palette, which could go either way for me. But unless I do that, then right now I'm going to skip bronzers. If I do end up hitting a pan in a product in that palette, I will come back throughout the week and pick out a bronzer to use for the duration of the Shop My Stash like always. So now for blushes, I'm trying, I don't know why I keep saying I'm trying to think, like of course I'm trying to think. Let's go ahead and do this. This is the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores blush. This is in the shade Love. It's a natural soft pink. It's actually a very deep shade though, but it comes across as just this really pretty shade that I believe, I haven't tried this one yet, but it looks like you'd be able to kind of buff it out a little bit. So I'm very intrigued to trying it. This one I got around the holidays of this past year and just biding my time. And so yeah, here we go. Let's go ahead and do this one. Of course, due to the palette that I got, I'll also be skipping highlighters unless I somehow manage to hit a pan in that palette during the duration of this everyday makeup drawer. Okay, now for lippies, I'm gonna do one from each drawer like always. I feel like this time in this drawer, let's go towards the bottom. What do we have down here? Oh my goodness, you know what I want to do? I want to do this one. This is a Juvia's Place Sweet Beets. I feel like this would be so pretty with the Urban Decay Ultraviolet palette. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this one out of drawer number 1. Drawer number 2, I feel like we just did... Oh, see, I haven't gotten to use those yet, though. I've used them a couple times, but I feel like we just did a bunch of lippies and no lip pencils recently. So part of me kind of wants to do a lip pencil, but I don't know which one. I think I'm going to go with... Slacker, the ColourPop Lippie Sticks in Slacker, which is a really pretty shade, and it definitely is more on like the pinkyish side. So I think I'm going to go with this one from drawer number 2. From this section here, this is drawer number 3, and I think I'm going to go with this. This is the NYX Lingerie Liquid Lipstick in Exotic. I definitely have not used this one in the last little bit, so let's go ahead and show this one some love. The shade looks stunning. Ooh, yes, and I feel like that's a good little mix here. And then the last drawer right here is the lipstick drawer. I think I'm gonna go with this one. This is the Juvia's Place Chic from the like nudes collection. Honestly, that just looks like a really pretty shade. It kind of is like this, but it's more of like a mauve nude instead of a pinky nude. And I think I'm just going to keep it simple and grab this one this time. So the last thing that I need is a setting spray. So I just reached behind me and grabbed the Smashbox Photo Finish Setting Spray Weightless, which is also a newer setting spray. So it works. It's good. I'm excited. Honestly, I feel like this is a pretty good mixture. I like that they've got some stuff that I've just kind of been ignoring, some stuff that's new that I haven't gotten to play with before, a couple of like older favorites, you know, I think it's going to be a good time, and I think I'm going to be able to make some really cute looks with this, and I'm really excited about this. I am wondering though, what do you guys think, like how often do you guys switch out your like everyday makeup drawers? Because I'm doing mine twice a month. It's once at the like middle of the month like right now, and then once at the end of the month. And I'm wondering if that's too much. Like, should I do this like once a month, or do you guys like it twice a month? I just feel like twice a month I'm always switching it out, which I don't mind because I like the constant change out, right? But I'm just wondering, how often do you guys switch yours out? Is the twice a month too much, right? Or should I keep it, like, should I switch it to once a month, or should I keep it twice a month? So let me know your guys' opinions down below. I'm really excited about this. I've used this a few times. I absolutely adore this palette. I've seen so many looks online that I'm just like about, and it's just so beautiful, and I hate that I have not gotten to use it more often, and I'm so excited to actually like get to sit down and play around with this for an extended period of time. So excited. So we're good. I'm excited. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please make sure you give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit that big red subscribe button below me if you'd like to see more of me, and I'll catch you guys next time. Have a great one. Bye.